WPA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. The other day, a couple of Volkswagens passed me.
I like Volkswagens.
A couple of Volkswagens passed me. Do you know the plural of the word Volkswagen is Volkswagen? You're supposed to say a couple of Volkswagen passed me. You're not supposed to add the S to it.
Oh, really?
Don't ask me why. Somebody told that to me one time before. But anyway, they were sharp-looking cars, and they didn't look like the Volkswagens I remembered as a kid. And I guess there's lots of Volkswagens. Somebody told me that my car is a Chevy in Canada. I have a Suzuki Forenza.
Yes.
And somebody told me that the exact same car is a Chevy in Canada. I don't know if that's true. You know who would know? Our guest. Kelsey Mays is on the phone. He's the Senior Consumer Affairs Editor of Cars.com. He's got something called the American Made Index. We're going to find out about a listing of cars that are considered the most American. I'm not even sure what that means. Let's find out from Kelsey. Good morning, Kelsey. How you doing?
Good to be on the show, Larry. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Where are you? Where are you calling from?
We're calling actually from Kentucky right now. We're in Georgetown, Kentucky. It's north of Lexington.
So did you know that the plural of Volkswagen is Volkswagen without the S?
I did not know that. We've been calling them Volkswagens with an S.
Me too. I know. I never heard that.
Yeah.
It's just something I learned the other day when two of them passed me.
And your Forenza actually, unfortunately, Suzuki isn't sold in the United States anymore. So, whether or not it's a Chevy is probably a moot point now.
I guess that's true. But my mom had a Volkswagen Rabbit years and years and years ago, and somebody told me that was actually made in the United States. Was that a true statement?
I couldn't tell you. I think Volkswagen had a plant way back when, like in the 70s, and it was one of the actually early automotive plants from a foreign-based automaker, and it might have made the Rabbit, but I would have to go back and look.
All right, so let me tell you, on Thursdays we have a veterans show, and the veterans always pick on me because I have a Japanese car or a Korean car, and nobody's really sure. So they say you got to buy an American car, like a Ford or a Chevy. That's the two they always name. So that's what we're talking about today, American cars, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So are we in a different world than we were like in the 1950s? Are cars made all over the world? And is that why we have this list?
I think it's safe to say so. Cars.com has been doing this American Made Index since 2006. That makes 2015 the 10th year. We look at the percentage of parts that are domestic. We look at where the car is built, and we look at the number of cars that are sold. And actually, our top car for 2015, not what you'd think, Toyota Camry.
No way. That's the most American car?
Really?
The most American car built in Georgetown, Kentucky, and Lafayette, Indiana. Toyota builds virtually all of its Camrys that it sells here in either of those two plants. And so, it comes out top in the 2015 American Made Index.
Wow. Is it a good car? That Toyota's got a good reputation, right?
Yeah.
You don't represent Toyota, do you?
Reliability. No, I don't represent Toyota.
Okay. Cars.com. Well, I have a brother who's a mechanic, and he has told me that Toyota makes a good car.
Yeah, I mean the Camry's a very popular car. It's not the most fun to drive car out there, but it's a pretty solid product as far as reliability and quality go. And so
so what this is?
When we actually looked at. Sorry, go on.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you know what this is going to do? This is going to, on the 4th of July, when families get together, the ones who were listening to this segment are going to say, that Toyota Camry is the most American car out there. They're going to, this is going to be the talking point. And then somebody else is going to say, no, my car is. So is there a way to prove that? Because they're going to want to Google it on their phone or something. Mm-hmm.
Somewhere between the barbecue and the pie, somebody is going to throw their beer at someone else over this.
Right, I know. So do you have a list we can go to? The American Made Index, is that online?
Yeah, the American Made Index. It's on Cars.com, and there's actually 7 cars on it this year. The first time in American Made Index history that we've had fewer than 10 cars. It's got 2 Toyotas, a Honda, and 4 General Motors products on it. So we've got the Camry, we've got the Sienna. The third car is the Chevy Traverse. It's an SUV. Then we've got the Honda Odyssey minivan, and finally 3 GMs: the GMC Acadia, the Buick Enclave, and finally the Chevy Corvette. Real American icon there. That's built in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Okay. I just went to the website. Is that on your end, that binging, or is that here?
That's on my end. We're actually at the Georgetown plant in Kentucky, and they're building Camrys outside of this room I'm in.
Oh, really?
So that is just so amazing to me. You said that Toyota Camry was in the plants were in Kentucky and Indiana. What happened to Detroit? Why did everybody just sort of desert Detroit? I mean,
poor Detroit.
Yeah,
they lost Motown in the cars.
Well, I mean, the Traverse and the Acadia and the Enclave, that's 3, 5, and 6 on the list. Those are all built in Lansing, Michigan, which is not too far from Detroit. But it's really globalization. I mean, automakers are becoming more global, and that's helping their bottom lines, but it's also resulting in a drop kind of in the number of cars with high domestic content. For what it's worth, I mean, Detroit automakers still make a lot of cars with a heck of a lot of high domestic content. I mean, they make 37 out of the 57 cars assembled in the United States with domestic parts content of 60% or higher. But once you get to that 75% or higher mark, the list really kind of gets whittled down.
Sure. The Corvette is made right there in Kentucky, it says here. I just went to your site.
Yeah.
Well, that's an American car.
Green.
So it's the seventh most American car.
Yeah.
But there's
so
there's
what we look at as well. Sorry, go on.
There's no Ford on this list. Everybody says Ford is an American car.
I have a Ford.
Well, the Ford F-150, their best-selling pickup truck, has been kind of a mainstay on the American-made index. It even topped the list as recently as 2013 and 2014. But, for 2015, the F-150 fell below that 75% threshold, and so here we are with the Camry up top.
So why do you put this list together? What does this actually mean? Is this for the person who's like very adamant about buying an American-made car? And I'm having a hard time believing that even if they see this, they'll get a Toyota. If that's, I mean, I would, but I mean, some people have they're hell bent on it. They don't want to get anything that's not American-made.
Yeah, I think there's a sizable contingent of those people out there. We did a survey this year. 28% of shoppers really just want to buy from an American manufacturer, and that may not seem like much, but we did the same survey in 2011, and that number was only 23%. So there's a lot of people who care.
So do you have the ratings on each particular automobile also as to how much gas it takes, what is the life of the engine, things like that?
Which country do you buy the gasoline from?
Well, there's a good question. Yeah, Robin, we do all that. We do have all that information on Cars.com. There's mile per gallon ratings from the EPA that we publish on Cars.com. We also have, long-term reliability ratings and stuff like that.
Oh, I love your site. So okay, I can go to Cars. Not to change the subject from the American-made cars, but I can actually buy a car on your site. How do you do that?
You can't buy a car entirely on Cars.com, but you can go and search for dealers' car inventory, basically on dealer lots, and you can reach out and contact dealers through Cars.com and pretty much facilitate the entire process. So
Suzuki's gone totally. I had a recall notice, and it was hard to find a Suzuki dealer. I had to go all the way to Orlando.
Yeah. What is your personal opinion about ethanol and no ethanol in the gasolines?
Well, that's an interesting subject. I mean, you get really into the kind of the nitty-gritty with all the corn subsidies and everything going on there that's creating kind of demand for ethanol, or demand for ethanol is creating, I should say. And, going from, 10% ethanol right now to potentially 15%. The thing about ethanol people don't realize is that it's less energy dense than gasoline, and so even though it's got a higher octane rating, it helps a little bit on the performance front. You get worse gas mileage, and even when you go from E10 to potentially E15, a potential downside for that will be just slightly worse gas mileage for a lot of cars out there.
On your site, I want to mention this. For those who are very adamant about buying American because you want to support American workers, listen to this. According to Cars.com, the Toyota Camry has almost 6,000? Yeah, it looks like almost 6,000.
5,800.
5,800 workers that build them. And the number 2 car, which is the Chevrolet Traverse, has almost not even 2,000.
Yeah, the Camry really has a huge manufacturing footprint. And when you look at the number of auto workers employed, in Kentucky and Indiana building that car, it's very significant.
Is this still a good job? That used to be a really good job to get a job working at a car manufacturing factory.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good job for a huge chunk of the middle class of America.
Are the guys that are building the cars right outside the door there, the sounds I'm hearing?
Yeah, those are all the sounds you're hearing. There's warning sirens and stuff going on. They're not warning sirens, I should say. They're indicators probably for lunch breaks. I'm making them up to be much more than they probably are.
You should bring one in and ask them are you happy with your pay? Are they working?
Ooh.
Is it is it a 24-hour-a-day job for them? Not for each individual, but I mean, are there 3 shifts or something? No.
Typically, yeah, they run in 8-hour shifts.
Okay.
Oh, we saw that your list contained like 14, like at one time 20 cars, 14, 10, and now it's down to 7.
Yeah, as just a few years ago, there were 29 cars on the eligible cars for the American-made index, and now it's fewer than 10. Interestingly, we've been noticing that at Cars.com for a while now, that even as that number drops, the number of cars built in America, total U.S. auto production, has been climbing and climbing since kind of pretty much the end of the recession.
Nice.
Wow, I just heard something else. Was that a siren? Is everything all right over there?
I think everything's all right.
I always wanted to go to Kentucky. I heard there's more people with my last name in Kentucky than any other state.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. There's a grave there or something.
Larry, what's your last name?
Whitler. It looks like Hitler with a W. Yeah. Yeah. Do we have any there?
He's going to name his next model car after you.
Oh, that'd be great. Nobody would buy it. They would think it's the Hitler. The W. That's what a Volkswagen is, a Hitler mobile, right?
Yeah, right.
Don't tell a Volkswagen dealer we said that on the air. This is a fun conversation.
I won't mention anything.
So the basic thing we want to tell the listeners is to go to the website, cars.com.
Yes, go to cars.com. You can see the American-made index there. You can also read car reviews, look at comparisons, and figure out anything else you need to do to find the right car for you.
Oh, that's pretty amazing. And that is sure welcome, especially now with the 4th of July sales coming up.
So are you disappointed that there's not an American car company in the number 1 slot? Does that disappoint you?
I'm not disappointed. I think we just kind of report what the numbers come out to be.
Okay.
And, whatever car ends up top there it is what it is. So I'm neither disappointed nor impressed, I guess.
Interesting topic. Well, thank you for being on the air to talk about this, Kelsey. Have a great 4th of July weekend and sell lots of cars.
Yes.
All right, you guys do the same.
Thank you. All right, we'll be right back.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
WOCA. AM 1370.
96.3. 96.3.
We are the source. WOCA.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident for today. Intervals of clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm around in the afternoon, the high 90 to 94. There'll be a shower and thunderstorm left over during the evening hours, then partly cloudy overnight, low 71 to 75. For tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds with a thunderstorm in the afternoon, high 91 to 95. Thursday, partly sunny again, an afternoon thunderstorm, high 91 to 95. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Are you one of those golfers that use the .coms to try to find the best deal available every day of the week? Well, why use a middleman? For $100, you can be a summer member at Pine Oaks of Ocala. And what do you get with your Pine Oaks membership? Well, you get to play all the golf that you want in the afternoons, and all you do is pay the cart fee. $8 for 9 holes or $12 for 18 holes. This is the golf deal of the summer. Don't miss it. That's the $100 summer membership at Pine Oaks of Ocala.
La Famiglia Pizzeria has moved into Ocala. Stop by today at 2504 Southeast 17th Street and see for yourself what everyone is talking about.
Awesome place. I never get pizza anywhere else.
Great New York-style pizza and dishes.
Best pizza in Ocala.
One trip and you'll agree, La Famiglia Pizzeria is the best. La Famiglia Pizzeria. Stop by for a pizza that you'll love or call in and order yours for pickup. 352-245-2419. La Famiglia Pizzeria.
R&D Tactical Solutions, Ocala's indoor gun range. 12 climate-controlled state-of-the-art lanes. R&D Tactical Solutions, full retail store, everything from firearms to CCW classes. Located next to the Supervisor of Elections. Open 9 to 7 weekdays, 9 to 5 Saturdays, and 10 to 4 Sundays. Call 622-7468. R&D Tactical Solutions, Ocala's indoor gun range. Call 622-7468.
There's a car accident in this country every 5 seconds. That's why Allstate thinks it's time for an entirely different kind of car insurance, with features like accident forgiveness and a safe driving bonus. It's called Your Choice Auto, and it's only from Allstate. Are you in good hands?
You deserve better. Sign up for Your Choice Auto from Allstate. Call the McDonald Agency today at 622-2333.
Features are optional and subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Insurance, Northbrook, Illinois.
Check this out.
New shows? Check. Check. Some new talent? Check. The same great sports talk?
I'm seeing it right now.
Wrong.
Wrong again? Wrong.
It's better.
There are so many great things going on in sports.
We gotta get it. From our mics.
Test.
To your ears.
The latest update we got is
awesome.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 21 minutes after 11 o'clock. I do not need to tell this audience what I'm about to say, but I want to say it anyways for our guest. I don't need to tell you that the reason we have remained a free nation is because of only one group of people, and that group of people are our veterans, our men and women who have decided to put themselves in harm's way so that we can remain free. It's said not enough, and it's never said too much. And so it is with that I would thank our next guest for his service. He is Major Stephen Taylor from the United States Marine Corps. He is also a survivor. He had a traumatic brain injury while he was in combat in Afghanistan just not even 5 years ago, according to my notes, December 2010. He's on the air to talk to us. It's just a real brief interview, but he's going to talk to us about some of the advancements that have been made in the treatment of traumatic brain injury for our military personnel. Major Stephen Taylor, good morning, Major.
Hey, Larry, thank you so much.
Thank you. My goodness, you're the one who gets the thanks. Where are you? Where are you calling from?
Wilmington, North Carolina.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good. You sound good. We have a veteran show on Thursdays, and once in a while there's a young man who comes in who's also seriously injured in Afghanistan, also had brain injury from an explosion. The vehicle he was in was ran over an explosive. I did.
Situation, me.
Oh my!
That happened to you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
See, I didn't know him before this, but I'm guessing that his speech and everything. But he's come a long way. Let me tell you, he's really. For those of you who listen to the show, I'm referring to Steve, the young man who comes in here.
Plus, all the ladies like him.
The ladies love him.
He's
Yeah.
got a bevy of girls always around him.
Yeah. So your speech seems to be okay. So that part of your brain injury didn't affect your speech?
Well, I did have what they call like word finding issues. So, I'd been to a speech therapist over the past few years to work on it. I still have some, I guess I call it stammering, where I'm still trying to think of the word. I mean, I know what I want to say. But
Right,
it's like,
right.
So.
Oh, you're Steve too. I just realized you're also Steve. Yeah. I've said your name, but it just didn't sink in because I got a brain problem too, and I didn't have any injuries. So what happened? You were in a vehicle and you rolled over one of those explosive devices. What are they called?
We hit an improvised explosive device.
Right.
For me, I checked to see. Hey, I checked over my body. I didn't have any shrapnel or anything, and I kept going. It was not until I returned to the United States about a month and about 2 months after the incident, and it was 2 days before Christmas, and we came home 2 months later, mid-February, I guess. And that's, I didn't really notice any issues. My family was the one that really saw a change in my demeanor. I couldn't sleep. I was having migraines, and then over about a 6-month period, I started developing tremors in my hands. My hands constantly shaking, and I got right back into being at Camp Lejeune. I was in charge of a battalion, and here I'm having all these issues in the morning. I had people covering for me at meetings because I just couldn't make it, and I was a mess. And
wow.
At that point, my family, my wife was like, "Hey, you got to get help. I'm not going to take care of you when you're, drooling 10, 15 years from now." She said, "Hey, so reluctantly I went."
You should have said, "But you promised you would." You should have said,
"That's right."
But we promised each other. No, I know. No, good for her. That was my silly remark.
I was ready for the next deployment. I wanted to, or the next promotion. And if it wasn't for her and the boys, I'd probably be divorced. Somewhere.
Well,
Iraq or Afghanistan at this point,
the PTSD part of what you must have experienced and probably still have some. I mean, we've come a long way with that too. We've seen, again, just using the Veterans Show on Thursdays as a reference, we've seen some of those guys really have some improved. The interview is so short, Major, so I hate to rush you to it, but there's something in the notes that say you want to talk about the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. What is that?
Yeah, the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund, it's a partnership between the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund and the Department of Defense. And what they do is they raise money to build Intrepid Spirit Centers throughout the country at the different military bases, the Army posts or whatever. And those facilities are state-of-the-art facilities that specifically treat traumatic brain injuries and the symptoms that go along with it, such as PTSD. So it's built by civilians, handed off to the Department of Defense, and these doctors come in from all different, different aspects, and they come to work at these facilities and treat these service members. And they've had a 92% success rate of getting them returned to the fleet, or back to their parent commands, instead of being forced out because they just no longer do their job. So,
wow.
And each of these small Intrepid Spirit Centers can put about 2,000 service members through a year, and keep them productive in the military, productive and healthy family lives as well. So,
wow,
it's really a great organization, and 100% of the donation goes directly into that building. There's no president or CEO who's making 40
that's good to hear. Yeah.
Off of it. Yeah.
So what is the website?
It's www.fallenheroesfund.org.
.org. Okay, that's where I made my mistake.
Yeah.
I put .com and it brought me some kind of crazy place. Yep. Okay. Fallenheroes.org.
And right now we have 3 that are currently built. We've got 2 that are getting ready to open at Fort Hood and Fort Bragg, and then we're trying to raise about $50 million for the last 4 Intrepid Spirit Centers.
Wow.
And it's really branched out. Their innovative treatment techniques have reached out to the civilian communities, kids that suffer injuries from sports. They're also helping car accident victims. The research and the findings that have been made at these Intrepid Spirit Centers.
Oh, wow. Well, we want to we want to share this with everybody. All right, so go to online. Make sure it's .org, not .com.
Mm-hmm.
Fallen Heroes. Fallenheroesfund.org. Yeah, I just went to it. I see the site now. Robin will put that on Facebook, and this interview will be on Facebook and also on the WOCA guest list. It's already there, actually. Fallenheroesfund.org. Okay. Major Stephen Taylor, thank you for your service. Thank you for being on the air with us, and have a great 4th of July.
You too.
It's guys like that made us able to have a great 4th of July. All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. At least 3,000 emails from former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton expected to be released today from the State Department.
If the last go-round is anything to go by, they will not be posted in chronological order, and this makes it much harder to discern what exactly was going on in the events leading up to the Benghazi terrorist attack.
Fox's Catherine Herridge. The Indonesian Air Force says that 74 people have died in a military cargo crash in the country's northern coast. And checked bag charges now in effect at the airline, which once poked fun at those fees, like in this JetBlue commercial, which compares them to taxi drivers suddenly charging to use a trunk.
Well, it's a new policy.
Why would you charge $25 to put a bag in the trunk of a cab?
You know, carry-ons are free.
For now, depending on the tier of ticket they book, passengers could be charged up to $25 for the first bag, which used to be complimentary. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Your time is just that. Yours. That's why Premier Express from Mercedes-Benz is made for you. With no appointment necessary, you can pull up anytime, get dedicated vehicle maintenance, and be in and out in about an hour or less. It's quick, it's convenient, and it's one more way we can give you something special. The luxury of time. Visit MBUSA.com/Premier Express today to find a participating dealer near you. Premier Express. It's about you. And it's about time.
Nathan's fans, share your selfie today and enter the Nathan's Selfie Sweepstakes for a chance to win great prizes all summer long, like a trip to New York City.
And it makes me smile.
Just take your selfie with a package of Nathan's hot dogs and upload it to nathanselfie.com. No purchase necessary. For official rules, visit nathanselfie.com.
Yeah, you're just so original.
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.